Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go ahead and start up a warrior run. And since we have featured warrior already on this channel, and we played gladiator last time we featured warrior, we're going to go ahead and try to force berserker today. So berserker I think is going to be a little bit more, a little bit simpler to play mechanically than gladiator is, because you don't have to worry about combo or pressing buttons or anything like that. You kind of just the main thing the berserker does is build up rage by being hit, and then the rage increases your damage as you have it, or makes you a little bit tankier. But either way, the basic gameplay loop and goal is get hit, so you build up rage and then hit things back. So very very standard kind of plan that we're going to have. Build a plate armor up really high so that we have a lot of blocking power, and then use something with high base damage as my weapon is what we're looking for. That's especially going to be augmented because obviously since the rage, so when you have 100 rage you get just a flat 50% damage increase. So weapons with high base damage are going to take much more advantage of that than weapons without high base damage, so that's why we want to focus on that type of thing. Plus that lets us get away with having fewer upgrade scrolls put into our weapon, which means we can allocate more upgrade scrolls towards our blocking power and our armor, which will do more of what Berserker is trying to ask you to do, which again is have big armor, be big tanky. It's kind of interesting because it's it's a good power fantasy and it's a fun class, but it is something that like everything that Berserker wants you to do is something that tends to be bad to do in Shattered Pixel Dungeon. So it's kind of interesting that we got our transmutation scroll identified immediately. Pretty cool. Relatively happy about that. And we're not spending our talent points yet, just because Warrior has a fairly strong first couple of floors. So honestly, I would rather wait to spend my talent points until I figure out, like, is this a Horn of Plenty run? Really, that's the only thing. Because if it's a Horn of Plenty run, I care about Hearty Meal. And if it's not a Horn of Plenty run, then I think Hearty Meal is terrible. So those are my thoughts on that. We haven't found the strength potion yet, and we did not notably get one on floor 1, I think, unless that's what this charcoal potion is. So we're just going to drink that there. It's not going to be a problem because we are in water right now that we set ourselves on fire, and it was safer to drink it there because if it was the strength potion and not the fire potion and we threw it, we'd be real sad. Real sad. So it's worth taking a small amount of damage. I guess technically I should have dropped all of my scrolls to avoid the chance that that I burned a scroll in that short period of time, but I guess we got a little bit lucky, and I didn't have to worry about that, so that's nice. Shocking short sword, that's pretty exciting. It's very rare. There are not shockingly few, but there are very few circumstances under which a weapon can have both a curse and an enchantment on it. So the fact that that has shocking on it means that we're probably safe to equip it as soon as we have the strength to do so. A little bit annoying that we had a projecting snake there, because normally I think projecting enemies deal 25% more damage, so you usually want to kill them first. But obviously, because the snake has super high dodge there, we couldn't take out that snake until we were able to circle kite it around the bush to avoid getting dodged by it. So we had to take a little bit of extra damage from it there while we killed the rat first, I think. But still nothing crazy. We're having a pretty smooth early game so far. Hoping to see a fetid rat, or the ghost quest at this floor so that we get the fetid rat, but it is not looking like I'm going to be able to rely on that, unfortunately. That's it's not the biggest deal, and I don't know if the loot is affected by which quest you get, but I do usually like to get the fetid rat because it's the easiest one to do. Out of the 3 ghost quests, the fetid rat is certainly the easiest kill. And specifically with Warrior, we really just don't have many ranged options. I would really like to avoid seeing the Null Trickster if the ghost spawns on floor 3. So that's what we're hoping for here. But really, no class wants to see the Null Trickster. Occasionally on Rogue, I'm happy to see the Null Trickster because I'm able to trap him in because of stealth or something like that. But for the most part, you just always want to see the fetid rat. That's the mob that's least likely to kill you on any given run, so, or that's my opinion at least. That is though going to be the end of this floor, and no ghost, sadly, so let's go ahead and head down to floor 3. We do probably have an upgrade scroll in our inventory at this point, so we're going to go ahead and read this scroll of Rido, since we have 2 of them, hoping that, and that is our upgrade scroll. So we're going to put that on our cloth armor, And by the cloth armor, I mean that's actually going to go on the warrior's seal, so we're allowed to upgrade this armor once without losing the upgrade scroll, because we can move the seal onto every new piece of armor that we get. So that's why that's why I upgraded that cloth armor, which is something you generally almost never want to do, because the cloth armor scales terribly, and you want to get rid of it ASAP. Always nice to start off strong. We got the Null Trickster, so 'tis a bummer, but it is what it is. We should be able to get him. I mean, Null Trickster's not too hard. Especially this is a decent hallway, I think. And this entire set of rooms is pretty good for me. So he might... We're going to have to be careful, because he might... Oh no, that's not great. We cannot get trapped by this fly. This fly has really thrown off our plans for killing this Null Trickster. That's a bummer. Because now, the Trickster... I think the Trickster just went through that door. I can't be quite sure, but... I don't know. That was a potion of healing. Less useful on warrior than it is on a lot of classes, because we have the, we start with the healing potion identified on warrior, so... But, we still do benefit from having another healing potion, so... And that is a state of affairs that is pretty much never bad. Really early plate armor, like, that's pretty exciting. We're, I guess I'll put in my points into Veteran's Intuition, so we can go ahead and pop that on and see if it's... And it's not enchanted, unfortunately, but it's also not cursed, so there's a reasonable likelihood that we do end up upgrading and wearing that armor by the time we're fighting Tengu, so it's always nice to have. We've also completely lost this Null Trickster, so you're gonna have to either keep an eye out for him or go hunting for him eventually, but it does mean that we kind of want to be a little bit careful about open rooms until we have found and taken out the Null Trickster, because he can be pretty dangerous in open rooms, like this one, where I am getting destroyed by the Null Trickster. Let's eat that. Unfortunately, we keep on seeing that door open and close, so it looks like he's almost... And I guess that was the fly coming through that I just saw, not the Null Trickster, but it does kind of look like he's just not willing to continue chasing me, which is never what you want to see. Though this, the flies have been just nice to me today. Having 3 health potions this early on is rather strong. I'm pretty happy with that. There's the snake. And we have once again completely lost the Trickster, unfortunately. Paralyzed there, always fun. And a piece of mail armor we likely won't get any use out of. We know it's cursed, and we already have a plate armor, so... Will be hard to find a good use case, I believe. Oh, I'm gonna be stuck on this floor forever. So I do keep finding enemies, but it keeps on not being the enemy I'm looking for. Okay, we saw some doors happening in this vicinity, so I guess we should probably pick up that mail armor too. And there he is. So he should be popping through this door for a smack in the face, and he might come back a couple of times, so we're just gonna... And actually, now we should be able to kill him with throwing rocks. Yeah, so let's get that kill. Ooh, we got some boomerangs, too. What a run. We've got boomerangs and a plate armor very early on. It's a pretty powerful set of items to have. Hopefully, so now that we have some really good late-game items on us, by the way, we're gonna use this ghost. We're gonna prioritize whatever we can use the soonest between the weapon and the armor, because at this point, we just want to make sure we don't lose the run. I'm going to go ahead and grab this leather armor, because I should be able to equip it pretty much immediately. Drop that, pick up the armor, see what it is. It is +1 leather armor, so let's equip mail armor displacement. Not likely going to be able to use that, but... Oh wait, yeah, I did drop the seal because that's funny. Drop, and then we'll pop that bad boy onto our armor, and then, let's see, I guess it looks like we probably have both of our strength potions, because I have to have a strength potion in my inventory at this point, and the only identified potion I have is the turquoise potion, which I have 2 of, so, yeah, that's pretty cool. That means we can also slap on the shocking short sword here, and I believe that means we are pretty much set for our early game. +2 leather armor is going to go a long way for us, which is nice. And then I actually want to, now that I have armor to fight this giant gnoll, we're going to smack him for a bit because he'll be a pretty decent target to gain some experience and identify our short swords sooner rather than later on, hopefully. The numbers I was hitting him for looked low, but it's always hard to tell on a giant enemy because they have a ton of flat damage reduction. So 10 is still within the bounds of a +0 short sword, so it's a big number. We don't want to get excited about it yet. Let's go ahead and just drink a healing potion here, so we don't have to worry about starving. Excuse me. And we also really need to find either a chasm or the stairs down, so that we can deposit our stuff. We're still holding on to our talent points, again, just because the warrior already has a pretty strong early game. Tier 1 talents are pretty bad in general, and I think it's not going to hurt me that much to hold on to them until I can be sure what my trinkets are. Or my artifacts are. I guess both, really. I haven't found the alchemy room either, so I don't know what my trinket is either. And we keep on not being able to pick up any of these potions, so I would really like to... Okay, here we go. Let's get rid of the Seed of Ice Cap first, and let's see what our trinket is. Okay, we got the rat skull. I'm generally pretty happy with the rat skull. It's going to take 24 energy to level up all the way, so we need to... Oh boy. This is just a bunch of items I don't really want to disenchant. I want to disenchant all those potions, but... Or not disenchant, turn into energy. So I think we're actually going to just drop a bunch of stuff on the spot here. Because we're certainly coming back to this alchemy location with a lot of potions, because I would really like to max out that rat skull. If you spent any time watching this channel, you know that one of my favorite things to do in this game is... Fortunately, it's a +0 short sword, but it's still a shocking short sword, so we're happy with that. But if you've been watching for any amount of time, you know one of my favorite things to do is disenchant, or turn early consumables into energy so that I can immediately collect the energy to max out my my trinket. Tends to be what I think it's a pretty strong way to play. So, excuse me. I guess with the rat skull, technically it lowers our likelihood of survival to make sure we're encountering unique enemies. But it's one of those things where like it lowers your survival for a few ticks, but then once you start getting drops from the unique enemies, and that makes your character more powerful over time, eventually you get to a point where like it's harder to survive because there are more unique enemies spawning, but it's also easier to survive because your kit itself is better. So it's a cool. Ooh, a dirk is interesting. We're always happy about finding a dirk in the first couple of levels. We might stick with the short sword here because the warrior is not incentivized to go for sneak attacks as much as the other classes are. Shocking sickle's even better, so that's actually definitely what we'll be trying to use. We gotta be a little bit careful though, because the sickle does a lot of damage. So this golem could very reasonably kill us if we don't show him the respect he is due. So we are going to make sure we're sneak attacking every single time we tag this guy. There we go. Pick up his shocking sickle, and I think I will actually go ahead and use that. It's oh, not for a fly I'm fighting out in the open. We're going to switch back to the short sword. But the sickle is it's the highest damage tier 1 weapon, and it makes up for it by being inaccurate. But against Blob, which we're going to be circle kiting and ideally surprising attacking every single round, that doesn't matter. So that's a very good pickup for this level. Okay, let's go get all those potions that we were unable to pick up. Kill the crab first. Kind of nice. It's very nice that we have the +2 leather armor that we're, I guess +1 leather armor with the seal affixed to it is strong enough that I effectively don't have to worry about taking damage in the first 5 floors anymore, and it's so relaxing and smooth once you get the game to that point. I think to play it out. Oh, hey, look, a dodging gnoll. That would be more of a problem if I was less strong. But okay, what are we gonna do here? We'll turn some of these potions into energy. So let's see what we got. We've got Mind Vision, cool. Levitation, unfortunate that we lost the chance to make Aqua Brew. Purity, fine to lose that. And then... I really don't want to lose a Scroll of Remove Curse or a Scroll of Magic Mapping. We're going to take a gamble here. Hopefully Isaz isn't... that's Mirror Image. Sweet, that's not something we care about too much. And now we have the 24 energy to immediately upgrade our Rat Skull. So that should be contributing to the loot we get over the course of the run, since we're guaranteed to see unique enemies more often. I hope that's the only thing I had to drop there. I'm actually going to drop some of this other stuff just to make sure that's just the cloth armor on the ground. It's not just the cloth armor on the ground. How are we going to do this? Yeah, we'll go to the stairs here, drop some... Oh, look at that, a secret room discovered. Always fun when that happens for free. Of course, someone had the exact same problem of, no storage space for anything that I had earlier, so... As I'm going through, I'm probably just going to drop the Worn Short Sword. I think the Tier 1 gear only sells for like 10 gold, so it's not that worth holding on to if the inventory space requirement is becoming onerous. So we're going to drop the Worn Short Sword and the cloth armor. They can both live there now. Then we'll go back to our little pile and cope that we're going to be able to decide what to leave. Because I really don't feel like coming back to pick up stuff just to sell it for almost no money. It's funny how once I've reached the power level that a floor becomes trivial. I'm like, alright, cool, we did it. Now let's move on. Those aren't that good. And we'll just go ahead and use the seal shards now, because it's only 4 shielding. It's basically useless. Ooh, there's a ring on the ground that we ignored too. So let's go ahead and grab that. That would be unfortunate to miss out on. So we'll be able to fit that into our inventory because we can equip it immediately. And it is not cursed, which is good for us. And that's probably it for now. We'll probably go ahead and fight Goo this way, and we don't need to backtrack for a Worn Short Sword, a cloth armor, and some throwing rocks. I think we'll be fine without that. Technically, it's probably a bad idea to give up the throwing rocks, but you know, we have a pretty strong start so far. We shouldn't have to worry about much. Though it might be a little bit tough for us if we can't find any good grass to kite Goo around, which would certainly be a bummer. Because none of this is fitting the bill. God, this is just a... What a weird little room. Let's see. Hopefully there's something in here that we can use. Ah, it's starting to look bad. It's starting to look like we don't have a place to fight Goo. That... Yep, we've got no good place to fight Goo. Alright, how do we want to do this then? There's a lot of water in this segment too. This is going to be real tough. Okay, I think I see it. So this is worst case scenario for Goo. Goo is incredibly simple to kill if you're circle kiting him, but we don't have a place to circle kite him. So what we're going to do is we're going to only attack him in locations where we're able to immediately break line of sight if he charges up the bomb attack, and we're gonna stand and fight in those locations for a little bit longer than you would expect me to, just because it benefits us a lot to. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to take advantage of this sneak attack here, and we're actually going to get hit by Goo because we tried. I should have just listened to myself and not tried to take advantage of the sneak attack. Oh well. Once again. No good for sneak attacking. Get causticed immediately. Pretty unfortunate. But there we go. We can actually take advantage of this sneak attack, because I think if he charges up, I think I can move 1 square to the right and be safe. But obviously, if I'm wrong about that, that will be proven right here. Go ahead and drink our flasks when we have the safety to do so. If I remember correctly, this sneak attack wasn't safe, so that was a bit dangerous to try to take advantage of, but not the absolute worst. And there we go. Hopefully we can... Oh, I'm probably dead, unless I drink a potion, so we'll do that. get that potion on, and hopefully just take him out here. Alright, that was way more painful than usual, because we got a worst case scenario spawn of the Rat King level. Always unfortunate, but not too punished for it, because our gear was pretty decent going in, so just go ahead and find the Rat King, and I'm going to stop talking now so I can fast forward this. There we go. Finally found the Rat King. So, should be turning off the fast forward there. And let's go ahead... Oh, not run up to the shop yet. We're getting a scroll holder no matter what anyway, and scroll holder is what we want here, so... We're not going to have to do any kind of inventory manipulation to, immediately step on a poison gas trap. Welcome to floor 6. But luckily it didn't actually block off the shopkeeper, so we'll just let it dissipate while we're in here interacting with him. Get rid of all that jazz. And yeah, that looks good. Let's see what we got. Manas, Identify, Naudiz, and Sowilo. So, too many unidentified to really tell. If we look at our inventory, we have a Manas and a Sowilo. We've got this one, Manas, and we've got Sowilo. So there's a reasonable chance we have either a magic mapping or a remove curse in our inventory already, which is kind of nice. Ooh, we got a ring down here we can buy too. Should buy that ring, put that on, and then I think that's good enough to call it an episode here. So we'll go back to the previous floor, and as always, if you guys had any questions about anything you saw me do today, or anything you'd like to see in future comment, then go ahead and leave me a comment, let me know, and I will try to get back to you ASAP, or show off whatever content you want to see. And other than that, I hope everybody enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye!